This past semester, I was able to do an internship at a therapy office. The therapy office was called East Valley Family Therapy, and it is located in Queen Creek, Arizona. So, this presentation is by Annalise Vincent, and I'm a marriage and family studies major. The steps I took to find my internship were by first Googling therapy offices near me. I decided to contact the therapy offices that were within about a 10 to 15-mile radius so that I could be able to drive to that place if I needed to do my internship. I began going to each of the different therapy offices' websites and contacting them through either email or phone. However, whatever contact they had on their website, that is how I went about getting in touch with them. I began by introducing myself, by letting whoever was on the other end of the phone know that I was a marriage and family studies major at BYU, Idaho, and that I needed to complete an internship for my degree. If they asked more questions, I let them know that I needed to get at least 160 hours in within the fall semester, and that I could do any tasks that they needed me to, that I could go into the office if that was what they wanted, or I could do the tasks from home as well. So I was able to start talking with one of the owners of a therapy office that was really close to me. We were able to correspond by text a couple times, and then eventually I was able to meet up with him in person to do an interview. That way he could see if I was the right fit for the position and if it worked out for my schedule as well. From there, I was able to get the internship. He had never done a undergrad internship, so he wasn't quite sure what it would look like for me, but he got me in contact with his office manager from there, and she just started giving me all of the tasks that needed to be done that she couldn't do because she had a lot to do. So some of the responsibilities that I did were keeping track of their new clients. So I would go on to their online portal and their scheduling, and I'd go through each individual therapy appointment and click on it to see if it was a new client appointment or if it was a recurring client. If it was a new client, I would get their information, put it into a tracker on a Google Drive that I shared with them, and I would put in their information and say if they had completed their intake forms or if they still needed those to be completed. That is mostly what I did throughout the whole time. That was something that I needed to look at a couple times each week. Throughout my internship, I also did some billing. I processed billing time to time. And towards the end of my internship, I was able to do some transcribing for them. So I would watch therapy sessions that had been recorded, and I would type up the conversations between the client and the therapist. I would also go through therapy appointments and make sure the location was correct. And a big part of my internship was also getting them up to date with their intake forms. So they had them all on a PDF and they needed to go into a Google Doc. So that was a lot of tedious tasks that I did of just typing and proofreading and all that good stuff. So another thing I also did was keep track of what clients still needed to pay, that their payment maybe didn't go through. So it was a wide variety of just office responsibilities. And then some of the therapists allowed me to watch their therapy sessions and type it up for them so they could look back on it and review it. So how I benefited the therapy office. So I feel like they gave me a lot of the tedious tasks, things that kind of would take a long time that anyone could do, but they didn't really have time for. So that was a lot of the detail stuff that I needed to do, like proofreading their intake forms and clicking on each therapy appointment and kind of just double checking work, double checking things that other people in the office did or therapists did that I just needed to make sure everything was correct with their location and billing and all that good stuff that you don't really think about with a therapy office. So I felt like I was really good at getting my work done on time always, and I always proofread my work like a couple times to make sure there was no errors. So they could count on me that I would get my stuff done and that there would be no errors. The therapy office really helped me out to just feel accomplished throughout my week. I was still doing school at the time, but it was also so nice to just get like some other tasks done on my to-do list. They weren't hard tasks. They were just kind of like tedious and detailed tasks that I enjoyed doing. I could do most of the stuff at my leisure. It wasn't very time sensitive, which was also very nice. And I just gained a greater insight to what it might be like as a therapist. I was able to see kind of how a therapist talked to their clients and just what that was like for them and how it might be challenging for me or how it, seemed more appealing. And I feel like it is helping me to weigh the options of what I might want to specialize in if I do a master's program or not. But overall, there was just a lot of fulfillment that came with the work that I was doing because I believe so deeply in therapy and counseling and just educational tools to better yourself and your well-being. Connections I made from my internship that I could remember from learning throughout my classes at college and whatnot were some that I was able to really see what it meant to have empathy versus sympathy for others. That was something that I remember learning about in one of my classes, and I was able to see how a therapist really showed their clients that they're not just looking at them like this person that has all these issues and wow, that sucks, but they were really able to emphasize, have empathy for them and show them that they weren't alone and that there was help on the way for them. I saw the benefit that really comes from having the funds that you can use to get help. That money obviously isn't everything, but it really is important to have funds that can go towards taking care of your mental health for yourself and for your family. And there was always questions on the intake forms for new clients about, what are your eating habits? What are your sleeping habits? Exercise? What was your, specific questions about their childhood and their family? All those things go into how they're going to treat them and what might be coming into play with their mental health and other things when they might be diagnosed by their therapist. I was able to see that firsthand with their forms. And I also saw the therapists gain, trust of their clients so their clients could open up to them, be honest, and that it takes time and patience. They're watching different therapy sessions with recurring clients. It takes time for them to feel comfortable. And it opened my eyes to see that there's so many different roles within the therapy field. There's different, office manager tasks and different tasks as a therapist, and you could be a teacher teaching classes to people, or you could provide therapy. There's lots of options out there. I really loved this internship, and I'm grateful for its experience. The therapy office is called East Valley Family Therapy, located in Queen Creek, Arizona. The owner is Jonathan Harrop. He is who I got in contact with eventually. But I first called the office at 602-759-0512, and the office manager then had Jonathan call me back and got me in contact with him. So this was his first time having an undergrad do an internship at his office. So not sure if he liked the experience, hopefully, but I think he would be open to other people calling him in the future. Thank you for watching my presentation.